Here is the ultimate product research hack that is going to change your life forever. Every single brand that I've ever had, every student that I've ever advised, they've all made money using this one simple product research trick that I'm going to show you today for free. The most money that I've ever seen being made in e-commerce has been off this one simple thing. If you can take something that's already existed and you can make it different and you can make it cool, you can make untold amounts of money by doing this. Let me give you an example. One of my first brands in America was a hemp-based CBD brand, which means it's extracted from a plant, it's put into an oil, and people take it to help them relax. It didn't have any psychoactive effects. It just happened to be extracted from a certain plant. Therefore, it was classified as what was called CBD. Now, that product did really well, but there were some massive hurdles that we faced. One of the hurdles that we faced was we couldn't advertise it anywhere. Everyone hated us. Shopify, Amazon, Google, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of them hated us. We were hated by every tech platform on earth, and I was not allowed to put one single ad anywhere. So I made that brand work by getting into influencer marketing. Because I couldn't advertise on any platforms, I said, all right, we have to figure out a way to make money. So how can we do that without paying for ads? One way is SEO, so you can just rank your product so that people can find it on the internet. It's scalable, but it's not the hockey stick level of growth that you want to achieve. So what we did was we figured out influencer marketing, which is as simple as give the product to 1,000 people, they post it. Let's say on average, they have 1,000 friends each. That's 1 million eyeballs that you've just got for free by simply giving a product away. That's more or less what you consider a growth hack. And that's how we got that brand to perform. That's not the point of the story. The point of this story is, how did it go on to make more money? What we noticed happening was there was a shift in the market to where people didn't want to consume the product in the same way anymore. So we found that people wanted to consume it through drinks, through gummy bears, through vapes, through shakes. They basically wanted the same product, but they wanted the product to be delivered to them in a different mechanism. So what we did when we put our exact same extract into a gummy bear, that particular business at that time, we were able to 5 to 10x that business. Now think about it. It's the exact same product. You're getting the exact same level of optimal nutrition from an oil that you are from a gummy bear. So how did we 10x the business? All we did was identify that the consumers wanted the exact same product in a different way. So what I'm trying to communicate to you and what you can do for your brand, and I want you to share this video with people if it's going to help you, because I think it's going to help you a lot and I think it's going to make you a lot of money, is if you find a way to take something that already exists and put a spin or a pivot on that thing, you can make untold amounts of money. Incredible, insane, ridiculous amounts of cash. Don't believe me, don't take my word for it. I've given you one example of how we 10x a business by pivoting from an oil to a candy. It's the exact same product delivered through a different mechanism. Now, this has been done with other products as well. Typically, there was a phase where people would tap into a dopamine releasing technique, which was just cold showers. It was as simple as you turn on a cold shower in the morning. Instead of a hot shower, you have a cold one. The cold triggers a little more dopamine release. You feel better. It's better for energy levels, awakeness, alertness. It makes you feel better. So that became a trend. And then what happened was podcasters started talking about the benefits of ice plunging. When they started talking about ice plunging, the search engine volume for that product went exponential. It went through the roof, because podcasters started talking about something that was typically done at home through this new mechanism, which was an ice plunge. And they were saying to people, you should really get out there. You should try an ice bath because it makes you feel good. So what happened then? The consumers started to say, okay, cool, we should try this ice plunge. And people started trying them. So they would go to a health spa, they might go to a friend's place, then they would go wherever they could find an ice plunge instead of a shower. Now, millions of dollars were made during this period. And when I say millions, I have colleagues who've made 7 figures clear just riding this wave. But the key takeaway is that the product itself that got launched into the market was a simple variation on a product that exists already. The concept of having a shower at home, ramping it up to its extreme, which is a much colder temperature, taking that same experience that was typically reserved for a health spa and putting it into people's homes became a fucking gold mine. So what a lot of top sellers were doing was they would build and brand beautiful ice baths. There were two ends of the market: the high end, where you could get like a nice wooden polished ice bath, and the low end of the market, where you could get a plastic shaped one that you would have to manually cool down with ice, as opposed to like a automated cooling function. But the point is, all they did was, there was a bunch of smart internet marketers who, just like me, told you to ride the wave, to look at what's hot, to look at what's trending, and look at what's topical. Acknowledge money loves speed, move to market quickly, and they managed to build, brand, and advertise ice baths right at the time that they were popping off, right at the time that Joe Rogan and Andrew Huberman and all these people were talking about the benefits of ice baths. These online practitioners, growth hackers, brand builders, whatever you want to call them, money makers, store owners, call them whatever you want, people who sell stuff on the internet, all of these people who were able to quickly spin up, replicate, brand, and sell ice baths online made millions of dollars. Literally, I have seen Shopify store backends of brands who are making 6 figures a month. What were they doing? They were selling an ice bath. What is an ice bath? An ice bath is just a variation on something that existed already anyway. The key lesson I want you to take away from this is, if you want to make ridiculous amounts of money, it's very possible to do by using this trick. If you can look at markets and look at things that were typically or traditionally consumed in this way and pivot them to a new way, you can make money. I've given you the example of the brand that pivoted from oils to gummy bears and 10x the business. I've given you the example of the brand that identified taking the concept of a cold shower and turning it into a cold plunge, and then putting that cold plunge into people's homes, and they made millions of dollars. That's just 2 examples. One final example I'm going to give you is a colleague of mine came to me one day, said, "I got this great idea. What do you think about saunas?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're good. I use them all the time." He said, No, what do you think about saunas inside someone's house?" I said, "Yeah, it's a pretty good idea." He said, "What if we turn that sauna into a blanket?" So he invented what was known as the sauna blanket. He spent a good 3 to 6 months making his customer experience was perfect. He built his website perfectly. He did everything that I teach you guys. He looked at his competition. He acknowledged that there was a gap in the market. And then when he launched that out into the market, the press picked it up like crazy. Why did they pick it up like crazy? Because he took something that was typically done over here in a gym, and he not only put it into people's homes, but he put it into people's homes as a convenient rollout blanket that could enable them to have a sauna at home. So he capitalized on the concept of taking something that was traditionally done this way and then pivoting and doing it this way. So what I need you guys to conceptualize and think about is, if you can think of a way to pivot an existing product or service to make it a little bit better, a little bit cooler, a little bit more different, then you can make a ridiculous amount of money. If you can't figure out a way to do that, what you can do is you can piggyback off other people who figured out how to do that. And what I mean by this is, if you're first to market, you'll make a ridiculous amount of money. If you're second to market, you'll make a lot of money, but you still have to be in the market. So in the same way that I've just told you about a gummy bear that 10x to business, or an ice bath that made $1 million a month, or a sauna blanket that made $500,000 a month, if you didn't get to the market first, that's fine. Don't beat yourself up. You can still ride the back end of that wave. You simply have to come up with a competitor brand, do it a little bit differently, and then ride the waves of the people who've identified that pivot already, so that you can make money off the back end of what they've invented. So if you can't figure out a way to remake an existing product, you can still ride the wave of people who have already cracked that code. And then what you can do is you can scoop up some of that new money, some of that new cash, some of that new internet money from their wave for yourself. So I want you to really sit on this. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it logically. If you like the idea, I want you to act on it, because money loves speed. And if you want to get that money, you've got to be fast. Hope this video has added some value to your life. This was a particular favorite video of mine to do. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got a whole bunch of links in my bio. I hope you got a lot of value out of this, and I will see you in the next video.